Hello and welcome to Nerd Subculture. I'm your host Jared.
And I'm Edwina.
And we are continuing once more with Feeling, our Buffy the Vampire Slayer series. Today we are doing episode 8 of season 1.
I, Robot, You, Jane.
I, Robot, You, Jane. I couldn't remember the name of it then. Released in April 28th, 1997, directed by Stephen Posey, written by Ashley Gable and Thomas Swindon. So we watched this episode the other day. What was it like revisiting this episode, Eddie? How do you feel?
You know what? I sort of remember this as, this is one of those PSA episodes, which are never very good.
Yeah, we've had a couple of these come up, haven't we? The PSA one. So,
yes. And I was almost like, oh, maybe we should just skip this. Maybe there are some episodes that we should skip if I'm trying to get you into this episode. Except that this introduces the very sexy, sassy
Miss Calendar?
Techno-pagan.
The techno-pagan, yes.
Miss Calendar.
Miss Calendar.
And she...
Miss June herself.
And I actually forgot how wonderful she actually is.
Yeah.
And it's a really good introduction for her. And this episode actually isn't as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I did notice,
it's really,
I think it's got one of the worst ratings in the season. I think it has like a 6.9 or something like that. Others are 6.8 on IMDb. And I think it's the lowest one for that season, I believe.
Yeah.
So, no, I didn't think it was that bad as worse.
I kind of find it a bit of a fun episode. Like it's so so cheesy. It's funny. Like
I think it's got that niche.
It's almost so bad it's good.
I think because it's when it's trying to do that technology side of things, and you see how out of date it has become, and that becomes sort of something fun to look back on. I think something.
Yeah, and you're sitting there going, What program are they actually even using?
Well, no. When she's at the computer and she's like, "Oh, where's the file?" and she just types in Willow on the computer, like into nothing. Like, what is she typing? Oh, I found it. Like, what do you mean you found it? It was on a desktop.
Yes.
So, like, she just typed in Willow on that's what you do. You just walk up to the computer and type in what you want.
There's that scanner that Willow's using, which I have never ever seen a scanner like that ever.
I think I may have seen one on TV or something before. I don't think I've ever seen one in real life. I don't know.
I don't think they were ever on sale in Australia.
Yeah, maybe not.
Style.
Possibly not. I don't know. I'm curious to know how it works, like how it scans it. Like maybe it's better for like older text or something like that you'd use, like other than because you don't want to expose it to a photocopier and print it. Or
yeah, I don't know.
How did they scan text documents back then? I mean, you had printers.
Well, no, you did have scanners, but they were just the same ones that we use now. Yeah, they just weren't as good a quality.
Yeah. Okay.
I had a school work experience job.
Yeah.
And all I did was scan photos.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Using a flatbed scanner. And that was probably 95, I think.
Is it something you use like on older documents, something you don't want to damage maybe and to put on a flatbed scanner that it could damage the book? Is that something I've maybe seen on...
But you've still got to use, it was still got to use light to...
Yeah, but you're still not pushing the book flat out on a thing. You're doing
true.
that sort of damage to it. Maybe that's, where you can just sort of easily scan it just over the page rather than having to lay it flat and hold a thing on top of it sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I guess we'll never know.
Yep. So the name of this episode is sort of a play on the book by Isaac Asimov?
Yeah.
I, Robot and Tarzan.
Yes, a misquoted Tarzan. I think Tarzan has never said, "Me Tarzan, you Jane." I think it's just one of those things that people say that's never actually ever been said in the film. Kind of like "Beam me up, Scotty," or "Luke, I'm your father." One of those lines have just been misquoted, but everyone just assumes it's that.
Yeah. There's also probably a bit of a 2001 Space Odyssey influence, especially with Dave talking to Dave. But yeah, we should probably do the synopsis of the
Yeah,
episode.
shall we get into the synopsis?
Yes.
All right, let's get that out the way. This episode begins in Italy, where a circle of priests traps a horned demon, Moloch, the Corruptor, in a book using a magic ritual. The book is sealed in a box, with the head priest expressing the hope that the book will never be read, lest the demon will be released upon the world. In the present, the book is delivered to Giles and added to a pile that Willow is scanning into a computer. Willow tells Buffy that she has formed an online relationship with a boy named Malcolm. Later, when Xander asks Willow if she will accompany him to the Bronze, she passes, preferring to talk to Malcolm. When Willow arrives late the next day, Buffy finds that she missed classes to talk to Malcolm. Suspecting that Malcolm might not be who he seems, Buffy asks Dave for help in finding out Malcolm's real identity, but his angry response causes her to suspect that he is Malcolm. When Buffy asks Giles for help, he confesses he cannot help her much as he finds technology to be intimidating. Willow becomes suspicious of Malcolm after she learns that he knows Buffy was kicked out of her old school and logs off the conversation. Back at the library, Giles discovers that Moloch's book is blank. Outside of school, Dave tells Buffy that Willow wants to talk to her in the girls' locker room. At the last minute, Dave has a change of heart and warns Buffy that she is about to be electrocuted. In the library, Giles tells Buffy and Xander that demons can be imprisoned in books. If the books are read aloud, the demons are set free. Giles also explains that Moloch is an extremely powerful and seductive demon, winning his victims over with false promises of love, glory, and power. Buffy and Giles realize that there is no limit to the destruction that a demon could do through the internet. After they find Dave's body, Xander and Buffy go to Willow's house, and Buffy tells Giles to ask the computer tech Miss Calendar for help, hoping that between his knowledge of demons and her knowledge of computers, they can re-prison Moloch. Willow is kidnapped by Fritz. Giles seeks help from Miss Calendar and is surprised that she is already aware of the demon in the internet. A robotic incarnation of Moloch crashes through the wall and attacks Buffy, Willow, and Xander. After a brief battle, Buffy tricks Moloch into punching an electrical power line, causing his body to explode, presumably destroying him for good. The next day, Buffy, Willow, and Xander joke about how the Hellmouth is screwing with their love lives, laughing about how none of them will ever find true happiness. Suddenly, realizing that they are laughing about it ceases to be funny. The end.
Actually, that
sudden
end scene.
realization, like, yeah.
Yeah, that end scene is actually quite good.
Yeah. So, what did you were saying before about the iRobot? It's funny when you ask me, "Oh, what do you think this is about?" I'm like, I don't know, Tarzan. iRobot, Eugene.
Yeah.
Why the Tarzan reference though?
So I'm guessing it. So pretty much the Tarzan movies are all about like the new clashing with the old, like a primitive and the modern kind of coming together.
So Tarzan being the old and
being the primitive, yeah.
Okay, and
Jane being the modern.
Okay, and then throwing the iRobot as in because he becomes a robot,
Yes.
robot demon.
Yes. But, love, and there's sort of that romance between Jane.
Do you think you've been to his pagan techno?
Techno-pagan. I think, you love... I was like, I wonder what Jared's going to think of the techno-pagan.
I just can't help but have this image of these paganistic dancers at like a Burning Man festival, just raving it on.
Yes.
And these scrubby clothes, dreadlocks flying everywhere. Fires raging.
Lots of body paint.
Lots of body paint, hours on hours of just
Dreadlocks.
dancing. Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely what I imagined. Pagan techno.
Techno-pagan.
Techno-pagan. Crossing with the techno-Viking, maybe.
Yes. Yeah. I was wondering what you're going to think of that. Now, I'm a big fan of Buffy and Jared is not, but believe it or not, the other day, Jared actually used a Buffy quote in everyday life. So I think...
What? No,
yes, you did.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
I did not.
You did.
No.
You did.
Shut up.
I didn't.
You did. So I think it's starting to sink in. I think you might be starting to like it.
Stop it!
Do you want to know what the quote was that you used?
No, I don't think I wasn't quoting it.
You
I
were.
didn't quote it.
Yes, you did. You were
What did I
like,
say?
you said at this point you're abusing sarcasm.
Oh, that was in reference to someone on Reddit posted a link about the graphics in video games, particularly water seems to be going backwards. I'm playing the new Cyberpunk 2077 game at the moment. I think it's fine, but it's copying a bit of flack. And yeah, someone noted the water effects on a game from 14 years ago is better than this game. So yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
what I was
he actually said, oh, at this point the guy's abusing sarcasm.
All right. Yes, okay, I said it.
Yes.
You got me.
Yes,
You got me.
He's starting to like it, everyone.
No.
He is. He's starting. He is starting to. He's getting it. It's sinking into his little brain.
Oh, a Cordelia Light episode or Cordelia absent?
No, she's not in it at all.
Not in it at all.
is she?
No freak out line or anything.
No Cordelia.
No, okay.
No Cordelia in the background
Mm.
doing something mean or weird. Not weird, just her being Cordelia. Being mean.
So apparently I was reading about this, a bit of a discussion on Buffy's birthday. So in this episode, it's mentioned on her birthday when Moloch is going through her files and it shows her birthday.
Okay.
But on this one, it says she was born on 24th of October 1980. But the second time it comes up, it's 6th of May 1979. But then apparently Joss Whedon has apparently decreed that Buffy's birthday was the 19th of January 1981. So thank God that's resolved.
I think it's just one of those things no one ever thought that, as they're dressing the set, then they're not thinking about this sort of stuff.
Well, they're putting the profile up there and have birthday. And go,
yeah, but they're like, no one's going to read it.
Like,
It doesn't have to be correct.
Yeah, or just, that's her birthday.
What did you say when Moloch punched through the cables? Trini?
It just reminded me of the Simpsons episode, Homer's enemy, Frank Grimes. I don't need any gloves because I'm Homer Simpson.
Yes. Which is actually my favourite episode of The Simpsons.
Yes. Oh, poor Grimy.
Poor Grimy.
As you like to be called.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? There's also lots of good banter with Giles and Jenny.
Yeah. Some romantic going there? Or?
Yeah, there's a little bit of chemistry there.
Yeah. Go Giles.
Yeah.
Punch it above his weight. Woman's gorgeous.
Also, you had an issue with when Buffy walks into the computer lab.
Oh, and she didn't notice the dead body hanging from the ceiling. Yeah, I had to rewatch that. Okay, she didn't look directly at the dead body, but peripheral vision exists. She was like would see, I think, a dead body. I think there was nothing else to look at apart from computers, so she's kind of looking around at nothing.
And she's looking for someone. So
she's looking for someone.
So she probably would have done a good glance around the room.
She would have seen it. I don't know. It's just,
but then you don't have the little shock.
Of course, because she
The
turns
little
around and
jump
then walks
scare.
into it. Yeah, and yeah.
You don't get that little jump scare. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the fight scene in the hallway with Moloch. That costume is
Robo Moloch.
yeah, Robo Moloch.
Techno Moloch, maybe.
Techno Robo Moloch is
Techno Moloch. I think Techno Moloch. Here
Yeah.
we go. That's what they should have called him.
You were It's pretty terrible, and the fight scene.
He
is
looked.
pretty
He looked like a
terrible.
Mortal Kombat character.
Yeah.
Like from the Mortal Kombat Armageddon movie. Like it looked pretty awful.
Yeah.
When Buffy tries to delete the file and he comes up and says, "Don't do that."
Yes, that's right.
What the hell?
But she was just going to put it in the bin. Like she didn't even hit delete.
She didn't deliver it yet, did she?
No, she didn't deliver it.
She just put it there and was going to deliver it.
Yeah.
Something I read. Buffy tells Xander and Willow that the one guy she had the hots for since she moved to Sunnydale turned out to be a vampire. Guess she's talking about Angel, but guess she forgot about Owen already.
I know.
I'm sure everyone else did.
Yeah.
Poor Owen.
Poor Owen. He was a bit forgettable.
Yeah, I think he was meant to be.
Yeah. All right, should we get on to question time?
I think we can. Oh, yeah. You want those questions really bad.
I'll be right back.
What? Why do you keep surprising me with something different each time?
I don't know.
All right. Okay. Which character was your favourite during this episode?
Buffy, I think. Yeah.
Oh, I've got to go with Miss Calendar.
Miss Calendar? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Miss Calendar, yeah.
Yeah. And she had that little line about she doesn't dangle it from her ear. The corkscrew.
Oh,
I think you might have missed that.
okay, right, yeah, I think I did.
Which
I remember he had the corkscrew, so what was
he'd found it.
it? What was a corkscrew for?
Well, it's obviously a piece of jewellery
Oh,
that she doesn't hang from her ear.
where does she hang it from then?
Well, I don't know. Maybe her vagina or her nipple. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay, so it was meant to be a little vulgar, sort of.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's like a little sexy remark.
Oh, okay.
Because he was like, oh, I don't hang a corkscrew from my ear. And she's like, I don't hang it from my ear.
Right.
Yeah.
Gross. Moving on.
Moving on. Which character were you hating on during this episode?
I think Willow. Actually, yeah.
Going
Yeah,
with Willow again?
yeah,
Oh, this
going Willow
was a
again.
very Willow-centric episode.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with Fritz. He's the one who's like, if you're not jacked in. What is it? If you're not jacked in, what is it?
You jack off?
I don't know. Something. If you're not in virtual reality, you're not jacked in. Something really weird where you're like, what the hell did he just say?
Yeah.
What was the most memorable fight scene?
Oh, it's got to be that hallway one, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, yeah, definitely the hallway fight scene. Where
I think it's the only fight scene. Isn't it?
and he jumps through the
yeah.
he jumps through the wall.
Now, we don't have the Kool-Aid guy in Australia, but I know the joke.
Yeah, I think everyone knows that.
I
joke.
know the Kool-Aid joke.
Yeah. So he Kool-Aid mans his way through the wall.
Yeah.
That is pretty much. Willow actually gets in on the fight this time and has some pretty horrible one-liners about wanting to break up and see other people, and she's hitting him with a fire extinguisher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not good. LOL moment during this episode.
I think probably laughed at when she at the computer. She typed in Willow, and then his face just on the screen and just yelled at her for doing that. Actually, I wanted to bring up earlier about the whole internet and stuff that this episode sort of brings in, and just that its infinity and just how dated it is, and I kind of wonder sometimes with some of those movies that come out during that era that have the internet, and we didn't really know what the internet was or how to experience it or what it would be used for. There's a classic sort of line that was sort of used in sort of pre-internet days or the early internet days, and there was these two sort of phrases. And one, never get into a stranger's car. Two, never meet anyone from the internet. And in this day and age, in 2021, you summon a stranger from the internet and get into his car.
Yeah.
So, the attitudes have changed so much, and the way we experience and the way we use the internet is just completely different and not anything like that we sort of would have
but also
anticipated.
But also most people only date using dating apps.
Exactly, yeah. Only meet through internet.
Yeah, so they only meet people through the internet.
And it was funny that you have email. Now, did that ever exist?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm not 100%, but you know the movie Ransom with Mel Gibson?
Yes,
I think it was on TV the other day. And I could have sworn there was a scene where he's in his apartment and his phone rings. And he picks up his phone and it's a robotic voice. You have email. And then he goes and checks his email, and that's when he gets the email for the ransom or that they have his kid. But I was blown away by the fact that he got a phone call to tell him that he had an email. Now, maybe things haven't changed that much. I get notifications on my phone that I have an email. It doesn't actually call me. But I don't know if that was ever an actual thing. Your phone calling you to tell you have an email. Like, oh my God, I have an email. I better go answer it because I don't have...
my phone tells me that I've got an email.
But actually calling you. Like this is like a house phone. The house phone rings and you pick it up and it's a robotic voice. You have email.
Yeah.
Now that is bizarre. I don't know if that ever was actual real. Maybe like super rich people like Donald Trump might have had that or something.
Yeah, I've never heard of
they would get
that.
called that there's an email. So I don't know. It's really funny to watch these things and how they panned out and how different it sort of ended up becoming.
But I think the part where you actually pissed yourself laughing was actually the reveal of Moloch in the robotic form.
Yeah, well, that too.
Yeah.
Although the internet one did get me because it was kind of a turnaround. Get off the internet.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wasn't expecting that. But yeah, sorry, just still on the internet, like a lot of movies that came out in those days really didn't know what the internet was either. There was a couple of films. There was one with Sandra Bullock called The Net, where the internet's trying to kill her or something.
It erases her.
It erases her, but it like sends people to kill her and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like the internet, she pissed off the internet, and it's trying to kill her. No.
It was just
somebody help me! The internet's trying to kill me.
No, it was just some bad guys that were trying to kill. Yeah,
and Johnny Mnemonic as well, because that was the internet was killing everyone too.
Yeah.
The virus was like in the internet that was killing everyone. It was in technology or something like that.
Yeah, I can't really remember that movie. I just remember he has like 20 gig in his head or something.
I think it was like 100. It was like 180 gig or something. So it's actually
that's a fair amount.
Yeah, I have to look it up. It was actually look it up. It was a substantial amount.
Or they might have redubbed it so that it was. I swear when I first saw it, it was like
500 kilobytes in here, mate. Jeez, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was like I swear when I first watched it, was like 20 megabytes. Or 20 gigabytes or something. And I knew it was like 20 something. Yeah, what's another? Oh, Hackers. That's another movie that didn't really hold up
they were
very
doing
well.
weird stuff with that. I remember it's Sick Boy, is it? Was it Sick Boy that was in there?
Yeah.
He spray paints his computer like with camo keyboard. He's got a camo keyboard. Like, oh, that is sick. But how do you see the letters?
Well, you wouldn't need to if you know how to touch type.
Yeah. Well, I can't touch type. I can't. Moving on.
Yeah, so my LOL moment where I did actually chuckle a little bit, and it's a little bit of banter between Rupert and Jenny. And Giles says, I'm just gonna stay and clean up a little. I'll be right back in the Middle Ages. And Jenny sort of turns around doing in her sexy voice, did you ever leave? Yeah, it was cute.
Zinger.
Okay, so who gets the wooden spoon in this episode?
Probably those computer geeks, maybe.
Yeah.
They were a bit useless.
Yeah.
He tried to kill her, then he pussied out, and then what happened to him in the end?
Oh, he got hung.
He was the one that hung himself.
Yeah. He didn't hang himself. The other guy.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And made it look like a suicide.
Yeah. I don't know. Kind of their story plot wasn't that interesting and what they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I would just sort of.
They were just meant to be his little followers that were in love with him.
Yeah. Oh, he killed one. He killed him, didn't he? Didn't he snap his leg? Snap his neck. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they definitely both get the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
Favorite scene.
Did we mention the pagan techno?
Not yet. No.
We already mentioned that.
Oh, we have mentioned
that.
The techno pagan.
I don't know. Actually, maybe that's my funniest line.
Yeah, my favorite scene was pretty much anything with Miss Calendar and Giles bantering.
Yeah.
Least favorite scene?
Maybe the intro I don't know. The monks chanting.
Ah, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that.
Yeah, yeah.
No, we should just so thought we'd
Yeah,
mention that scene at the start.
I
We didn't
actually
mention
think I think the reveal of Moloch in the robot that it's so dramatic and over the top. Yeah,
Yeah, wasn't
It's
seeing.
very-
I did not see him coming as a robot. So was
yeah.
he still on the internet when he was a robot?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And that spell that Miss Calendar does gets
Oh
him
wait,
out
hang
of the
on. There was
internet.
actually. I just thought of a line. It was that one where he says something about a guy in Germany is organizing a hit for his
on his
grandmother.
wife. On his wife.
on his wife.
Oh, good for him.
Good for him.
Yes. Yeah. Favorite quote.
Oh, that was it. That's my favorite quote. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Um.
thought we passed.
Okay,
that.
but my
Sorry.
favorite quote was from Xander, and it's "To read makes our speaking English good."
Yep.
Definitely a classic Buffy speak line.
Mm-hmm.
Who gets the MVP of the episode?
I probably would say Buffy MVP. Yeah.
I'm
she
going
tricks
yeah.
him to Grimy to zap
to
himself.
grime him to
To
grime
grime him, yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with Jenny and her internet coven. Who get him out of the internet.
Yeah.
I don't know how she managed to do that, but good for her. And what do you rate this episode out of 10? And pick something from the episode.
I give this 4 pagan technos.
Techno
Techno pagans.
Techno-
4 techno pagans out of 10.
Okay. I might give this a little more. I think it's probably about a 5.5. Musty, smelly, empty, demon trapping books. And-
Apparently, was her name Jenny Calendar?
Yes.
Or apparently, they're going to call her Nikki Calendar, but they decided not to because people get confused with Nicholas Brandon
Okay. Yeah.
for some reason.
Oh yeah, because I think that's what they called him. That was his nickname. Like if you ever hear them talking,
Oh, they called him Nikki.
yeah, like if you ever
Oh,
hear Sarah
okay.
Michelle talking about the cast members, she always calls him Nikki.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny that they change a character's name because of a cast member's nickname.
Yeah.
To avoid the confusion of that. Like you think, well, you're acting, aren't you? But yeah, I guess it can be confusing a little times maybe when you say,
Yeah.
"Oh, Nikki's going to go over and do that." And, oh, is he? No, not him. The
Yeah.
the character. Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, you actually enjoyed this episode.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah. I think the internet aspects sort of make you sort of like really enjoy the, how wrong they got everything. It's kind of interesting.
Yes.
Where you just go up with the computer and just type in whatever you want and you get it.
Yeah. That's how it works.
You just type it in to something. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for this week, Eddie.
All right. I guess
Episode
it's-
8, huh? Well, we're getting through these now,
So
aren't
what's
we?
the next episode?
I don't know.
Is that
We're not going to have enough time. Solo's coming.
okay?
So,
All right,
what do we do, Eddie?
We like, subscribe,
Share.
share,
Download.
rate,
Yeah. Upload.
interact with.
Do stuff. Other things.
Yeah.
See ya.
Grr arg.